Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and this amazing video. I am Aditya. In this video, we are going to see how to add Next.js in your existing React project, which is created using Create React app. Or without any further ado, let's begin. So let's first understand why do we need Next.js. So if you are new to this, it's actually a React framework which handles lots of complexities which a normal React application has. So for instance, when it comes to SEO, when it comes to routing, when it comes to having the maybe API middleware and also the API inside the same directory and all those stuff. So there are several things which are very quite complicated to manage using a simple React app. But when you use Next.js, which is a React framework, it makes it super simple. So it allows you three options with server-side rendering, static site generation, and it also allows you with single page application. So currently we have a React app as a single page application. So what we are going to do is we are going to move it to server-side rendered application so that when someone visits our website or this app, this SEO things of register, like adding those SEOs thing become like a very simple thing, and it's ranked high if we want to publish this on the internet. There are a few things to consider in our current app. So if you haven't seen my MERN tutorial series, we created a React chat app at that time and using Express API at the backend. So please do have a look on that series. It's a really amazing series. And I'm just going to use that example as an existing project, and I'm going to add Next.js in that. So currently, if you see, like, we have the Tailwind in our React app, so we don't have to worry on that, but just need to make few changes in the tailwind.config.js. We will do that as well, not a problem. And the second thing we need to consider is we are using React Router for navigation. So how Next work in navigation is, it has its inbuilt navigation system where whatever you put inside the pages folder, it will go according to that. So suppose if I want to go to register, then in my pages folder, I just need to have register.js or register component in the pages folder. Okay, so let's go step by step of installation with the Next. Okay, so first thing we need to do is remove React Router, React scripts. Okay, so let's uninstall them. So I'm going to say npm uninstall React Router DOM and React scripts. Okay, now if I go to my package.json over here, we should see that those things should go in a moment. So React Router DOM gone, React scripts also gone. Now we need to install Next.js. So let's install that. So I'm going to say npm install next. Okay, now this will install Next and it should be there in a moment. So till it installs, let's see what changes we need to do in the scripts. So in the scripts, previously it was, so currently I still have those scripts. So it says React scripts, React scripts, React scripts, all those stuff. Now we need to switch that with next dev, next build, and next start. Okay, so what we are going to do is just go inside this. So start and build gonna go. So this is gonna go with this, and test, currently we don't need it. Eject also we don't need it because we are not going to eject anything over here. We are going to just build up on the Create React app. So that's great. Next thing we need is generally for when it comes to React single page applications or React application by itself, generally React Helmet is preferred for server, so for those SEO stuffs, like adding those meta tags and all those stuffs, and not just for SEO stuff but also for those OG tags and all those things. But how Next works is it already has its head component, and inside that you just write it normally as you write it in anywhere. So if this is an example with React Helmet and this is the example with Next head, so you just write it normally and then you put the tags literally like simple HTML. So what I'm going to do is I will keep React Helmet for now, but because I'm not sure if I'm using it anywhere, rather actually I'm not using it. Let me just have a double look. So in the layout, it's not being a layout, it shouldn't be here, it's not there. Login, it was there, so let's remove it from the login. Actually, let's just remove Helmet. So let's go here and just uninstall Helmet as well. So let's do that. So Helmet uninstall, let me see the package name. So it's React Helmet actually. So we just need to, because there is another React Helmet, and now React Helmet is gone. Now next thing we need to also do is, now we already have followed the structure of pages and components. So that's great. Now all these things needs to be lowercase. So this chats will become chat, C cap, C small. Login will become our entry file. So entry file should be index.js here because that will be our entry route. Register should be R small, and now layout can go in as a component or in a separate directory as layout. Okay, currently we'll just put it in components directory, so we'll just put it over there. Move, yes, so it will update our these files, so you'll see those imports are also updated. That's great. So let's go over here, here, and here. It should be good. Cool. Now next thing we need to do is we have now just arranged our pages. Now we don't need app.js, so we need to remove that, and let's see what we need to do with it. So if I go back over here, in this case we will need to create another page here. So what I'm going to do is I will remove this first. So app.js is gonna go, app.test is gonna go, index.js, index.css are gonna go. So these all went off, and now here we are going to create a new, inside the pages we'll create a new file which will be called app_app.js. so this will be the entry file over here now. So first we are going to create a component, let's call it as app, and this component is going to take props of component and page props. Okay, and then this thing is going to return that component. Okay, and whatever the page props are. Now next thing we need to do is export this thing. So export default app. Okay, that's great. Now we also need to import global styling. So to have global styling, we always import global styling in this _app.js for next. So what I'm going to do is I'll create a new folder here inside src actually. So let's call it styles. And inside this styles, let's create a new file as globals.css. Okay, now let's add those Tailwind utilities. Just go over here and paste it, and then just include it in our app.js. So here we will say import globals.css. Now next thing we need to do is inside our tailwind.config.js. So here it says in the src folder, so we will keep it as it is for now. Cool. Now let's go. Next thing we need to do is okay, so Tailwind is configured. Now we need a file here which is known as next.config.js. Next.config.js. Okay, now next.config.js will include all the configurations that we need to add for our next project. Generally we don't need, but in case if we need, then it will come over here. So it would be something like this: modules.export, and then whatever configs you want to export. Now generally we want that React strict mode, so React strict mode should be true, and it should be good. Now next thing we need to do is in our header we have here link coming from React router DOM. Now we as we are not using React router DOM, so this needs to be changed. So here wherever you have the syntax, you just need to remove the curly brackets, so we don't, it's not a named export, so it's coming something like import link from next link. So here it will be next link. Okay, then next thing we need to do is wherever we are using that, so here we are using it, so the 2 will become href, then here also, here 2 places 2 will become href on the link component, and the rest of the things will remain as it is. And the next thing we need to do is in our login.js, so which is this one I believe. So here what we need to do is so here we are using navigate, which is coming from use navigate. So here we will have use router coming from next router. So this will be use router coming from next router, and instead of use navigate it will be use router, and instead of navigate dot whatever that link is, we will say replace. So we want to go to that page, by saying that, okay, so how it works is if I put here push, then it will put the chats page on the top of login page, and if someone press back button on the chats, they will be taken back to login page. So we don't want that. We want it something like the current login URL from the stack gets replaced with the chats one. So if they go back, they will go back to somewhere else before the login page. Okay, so let's keep it like this. Now next thing we need to do is so rest other things, I guess we are pretty good. Also, if you're using any image component, image tags or images here and there, so you might want to use this next image component. It optimizes your images as well, so it's a good replacement for your img tag. And I think that should be good for testing. So let's test. If there are any errors, we will sort them. So now we just need to do npm run dev going on, and that's good. So our site is now on Next.js. So if I go to register, great, it goes to register. If I go over here, actually I can just navigate from here. So register here, log in here, that's perfect. So now we are perfectly fine with all these stuffs. Now next thing we need to do is so this is done. I guess let's just double check if we are missing anything. Okay, so we just need to check if we can log in correctly, and we also need to make sure that the chats is only accessible if you're logged in. If you're not logged in, then the chats shouldn't be accessible. Okay, so let's try to do that. Now there are various ways to deal with it. So one way is doing something like get static props, and then you have to do it on the every page, or if it's server-side rendering, then get server-side props, and you have to do it on every page that check whichever page you want to protect from, whether to see if it's authenticated or not. Then on that case, you just need to, like, when the user visits the page, if the user is authenticated, like we are set checking currently based on the cookie. So if there is a cookie or there's a token in the local storage, then that's it, they're authenticated, then go forward. Or if they have the access token, then go forward. If they don't have the access token, then just send wherever to the login or wherever they come from. Now the problem here is that as you need to do it on every page, if you have lots of pages to be protected, then it can be like a lot of code rewriting. So the other way to do is using middleware, or there is another way to do is using inside your app.js over here. So you can render it here something like if you can have like a protected component, and you just need to check what are the public routes, and if the routes is inside the public routes, then you don't have to worry. You can just straight away pass this thing, or you can pass the protected component. Either one works. So we will just see how we can do it with middleware. So for that, inside this pages, I'll create a new folder as chats, and inside this I'll pass this chats.js into chat, and yes, and to this chats. So now it has become like, so let me see if we are taking components correctly. So two directories up, yeah. And then here we will just rename it to index.js because this will be our root path. Let's quickly check if it's working correctly. If we go over here to chat, okay, so local storage is not defined. That's fine. We just need to do it in a use effect, these things. So what we are going to do is we will just take it from here, put it as a null, and then over here we will do it as another use effect, and then this will be like a blank array, and here we will do something like this, set UUID, if that's the correct one. Yeah, this is because local storage is a client side thing, and as we are doing like static site generation, so this local storage is not available when the script is at this point. So we just need to make sure that whatever it is, like local storage or session storage or whatever it is, client side scripts, that goes inside either use effect or it goes inside in a function which checks whether it's available in the window. So let's go back again, let's check what happens. So notification is not defined, we need to do the same thing for that. So this one, yes. So here what we need to do is we just need to keep this as a blank as well. Okay, and now let's go back again and we are good over here. So chats is being shown. Of course there won't be any contacts or anything because we don't have our server running behind the scene, but we don't want this page to be seen if we are not logged in. So we just need to like we have to be sent back to login or somewhere where we can log in to get back to this page. So let's do that. So first thing we need to do is here inside this chats, let's create a middleware. So you can create a middleware with saying new file underscore middleware dot js. If you are using JavaScript, it's JS. If you are using TypeScript, it's TS. Now this middleware will run on every route in the chats folder. Okay, so all the routes in this chats folder will be protected with this middleware. So let's first see what's the middleware code we have over here. So it takes the request and the response, or you could say the event. So what we need to do is we just need to check if the user is authenticated. If it's not, we just need to redirect them to like the previous page or to the login. If they are authenticated, then we just send them to chat. So let's do that. So let's so this is what we have right now. Like if I just put here like this and put the middleware to chats route, so now all the routes having the prefix of chats and forward, like if I say chats dot, if there is some other route, say chats dot maybe chats message or something like that, then all those routes will have this middleware which will display hello world like this. Okay, now let's proceed forward and add the authentication logic in that. So to do that, what we need to do here is first need to import next response from next server. And what we need to do here is if now we are checking for the access token. Okay, so we just need to say if request dot cookies dot access token. So if in the cookies there is something known as access token, then we just proceed forward. If it's not there, then we say return next response dot redirect to login or the home page. Else we just proceed forward next response dot. Okay, now what we need to do is just go back and have a look on this. So let's just refresh. So it takes us to login. Let's try again. Chat takes us to login. Great. Now let's try to login. So here I will say aditya@example.com 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yeah. Login, and there we go. So we are in and perfect. So we just can see the chats and everything is working fine. Now other thing we need to do here is, so if I go back again over here, now we are able to access the cookies from here. That's great. Now the next thing we need to do is from our app.js, we need to continuously refresh to get the new access token based on the refresh token, because that's what we did in our previous app. So that's one way to do it. So what I'm going to do is from our, actually let's put here set interval. So I'm going to say const interval. It will be set interval, and now this function will run after every 5 seconds. And here what it's going to do is it will make requests to our server to get the new access token. So it is going to check first in the local storage if there is a UUID in the local storage. So it's going to say if local storage dot get item, because that's what we are doing. After we log in, we are setting it in the UUID. So if it's there, then we are saying here API instance dot post go to refresh token. Let me see what's the route is. So inside our route, I guess it's user refresh token. So here is the contacts. Yeah, it's user refresh token. So we just go back over there and just need to put here user refresh token and dot done response, and whatever the response we get here, we can just either console it or just do some extractions over here. So for now, because our server is setting the cookie, so we don't have to worry on this. But so for now, I'll just keep this function as blank as it is. Okay, now let's go back. So it is saying request failed with something. Okay, so let's reload this page. So let's go back over here and let's try to log in at example.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now if we log in, that's great. Now let's see in our cookies if we get the access token, because our access token time span is 30 seconds. So let's see that. So here we can go in the application, and here we have the access token. So let's undock it over here. Okay, to have it like if the response is running, so let's either console.log something so that we can see if it's running behind the scene. And if we just go back over here in our, so you'll see that it's getting the response. Our refresh token is getting refreshed. Sorry, access token is getting refreshed using refresh token. So that's great. Perfect. So I guess that's all we need to do for now. So just close this, go to chats, and we can see the chats as well. If I log out, so log out works, and if I try to go again to chats, it doesn't allow me. But if I go from here, it takes me in properly. So that's it. Actually, that's great. So that's all in this video. Hope you like this video. If you like this, please hit the thumbs up button. If you feel this video is worth sharing with your network, please do share with your network. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. And if you also haven't checked my MERN tutorial series, I'll put the link in the description. Please have a look on that as well. So see you in the next video. Till the next time, goodbye.